European election results varied across member states, reflecting diverse political landscapes and voter sentiments. Some countries witnessed significant shifts in power, while others saw continuity in government leadership. Populist and Eurosceptic parties made gains in several countries, signaling ongoing discontent with established political institutions and the European Union. Debates over sovereignty, immigration, and globalization fueled their support among disillusioned voters. Pro-EU parties maintained their stronghold in certain regions, emphasizing the benefits of European integration and cooperation. They campaigned on platforms of solidarity, environmental sustainability, and economic stability within the Union. The rise of Green parties highlighted growing concerns over climate change and environmental degradation. Voters prioritized candidates who pledged to address ecological challenges and promote sustainable policies at the European level. Coalition-building efforts ensued as parties sought to form governments and shape the agenda in the European Parliament. Negotiations centered on key issues such as economic recovery, social welfare, and foreign policy priorities. The distribution of seats in the European Parliament reflected a balance of power between different political factions. Projections indicated a diverse representation of ideologies and interests, necessitating collaboration and compromise among MEPs. Younger generations played a crucial role in shaping the electoral outcome, with increased turnout among youth voters in several countries. Their support for progressive policies and calls for political change influenced the composition of elected representatives. Gender diversity remained a focal point, with efforts to increase female representation in EU institutions. Parties pledged to address gender imbalances in leadership roles and promote inclusive policies to empower women across sectors. The European election results highlighted regional disparities in voter preferences and electoral outcomes. Eastern and Western European countries demonstrated contrasting trends, reflecting distinct historical, cultural, and socio-economic contexts. Challenges such as Brexit fallout and the COVID-19 pandemic influenced voter perceptions and government responses across the continent. Eurosceptic sentiments surged in some regions, while others reaffirmed their commitment to European cooperation. Technological advancements facilitated transparent and efficient voting processes, enhancing confidence in the integrity of the electoral system. Measures to combat disinformation and safeguard against cyber threats were implemented to uphold democratic principles. The aftermath of the election saw reflections on the state of democracy within the European Union. Calls for institutional reforms and greater transparency resonated among citizens, signaling a commitment to strengthen democratic governance. Civil society organizations played a vital role in mobilizing voters and promoting civic engagement. Their efforts contributed to increased voter turnout and reinforced democratic values across diverse communities. The European election results underscored the importance of addressing socio-economic inequalities and promoting inclusive growth. Parties proposed policies to tackle poverty, enhance social welfare systems, and bridge the gap between affluent and marginalized populations. The role of supranational institutions like the European Commission and the European Central Bank came under scrutiny amidst calls for greater accountability and transparency. Proposals for institutional reforms aimed to strengthen democratic oversight and responsiveness. Issues of identity and cultural diversity shaped electoral dynamics, with debates on immigration, multiculturalism, and national identity resonating across the continent. Parties grappled with balancing cultural preservation and integration efforts. Efforts to combat corruption and enhance transparency within EU institutions gained prominence, reflecting concerns about accountability and ethical governance. Calls for reforms to strengthen anti-corruption measures resonated among voters disillusioned with political elites. The European election results served as a barometer of public sentiment towards globalization and European integration. Parties advocating for both open borders and protectionist policies navigated debates on economic sovereignty and international cooperation. The aftermath of the elections prompted reflections on the future of European integration and the trajectory of the European project. Debates revolved around the need for deeper integration versus respect for national sovereignty, shaping the agenda for future EU policies. The European election results underscored the importance of fostering cross-cultural dialogue and understanding within the continent. Efforts to promote intercultural exchange and bridge divides between member states gained momentum in the post-election period.